What it do? Bedtime crew. Hey man, listen, today I am here to talk about the debut on Paramount. Now, for those of you that somehow don't know, the UFC is moving from ESPN to Paramount Plus in the US. I think Australia is getting it too. We're not even getting fucking pay-per-views. We're getting just the fight nights. But today I want to talk about the debut pay-per-view, which usually, if you know the UFC, the January cards, they are fucking bangers. They are absolute cinema. So today, as the certified best matchmaker on YouTube, I want to tell the UFC exactly what we all want and what we need from this card. We need a generational pay-per-view. We need a hood classic like UFC 311. By the way, before I get into this video, because I'm going to go from the early prelims all the way up to the main event, I've built a huge fight card here that I think every single MMA fan would be able to get behind and get excited about. That would be worth, you know, the big subscription, the big hype, all that stuff. Before we get into it, yes, it is Halloween, okay, guys? All right, dude, it is Halloween. I'm not going as Shamil Gaziev. I'm not going as I don't know, whatever, Darren Till. I am actually Thunder MVP Russell Westbrook. This is a fake jersey that I bought a couple years ago. So this is my, that's me as Russell Westbrook. You're fucking KD back in the, should I just dunk on you? That's my costume. So let me know what you guys went as, but let me get into this video, man. Let me stop talking about fucking prime Russell Westbrook before I make some people shed some tears, dude. All right. Opening up the early prelims, I want to see Damon Blackshear versus Rinya Nakamura. Okay, I'm not going to do my impression of Rinya Nakamura, but those who know, they know that what this man likes to do in Las Vegas. All right, dude, starts with a G, ends with a R-E. All right. I'm not going to do the impression. I'm just saying, you know exactly what this guy sounds like. Rinya Nakamura versus Damon Blackshear. I feel like this is a sick fight at bantamweight. Very solid grappling exchanges will probably happen in this fight. Both of these guys, they're kind of like hyped up prospects that we all were pumped about. And then eventually you're starting to realize, okay, maybe I got my hopes up a little bit over a fucking jobber here at bantamweight. I definitely feel like I got scammed with Damon Blackshear. I know he looks like fucking bacteria in this photo, dude. I know that he looks like a fucking cockroach came to life in this photo, but I used to believe in this fucking guy. And Rinya Nakamura came into the UFC undefeated, a lot of hype from the road to UFC, and now he's kind of fallen down to the prelims. He's still pretty solid. I think this would be a good fight to open up the prelims, all right? Next fight I want to make on the early prelims. This is another fight I'm very happy about. We're going to be sliming out and getting rid of one of the most the most disliked UFC fighters on the roster, Torres Finney. Your time has come, brother. Go ahead, pack your bags. It's over. Torres Finney versus Yusri Belgaruri. I feel like this is a great fight to make at middleweight. Both of these guys are coming off successful debuts in the UFC. One of them showed a lot of promise, a lot of exciting moments. Nasty finish win over Azamat Bikoev, which is a very good win. I was there watching that live with Guru, and you know, we're just boys like that. And then Torres Finney on the other side, complete terrorist of the fucking sport. He's on the Bedtime MMA top 10 most wanted list. We need to see this guy slept out cold just for his crimes against the fan base with that fucking Robert Valentin performance. So I want to see Belgarui versus Torres Finney. If Finney somehow blobs this guy out, he is a bigger threat to the middleweight division than we even realized. I also feel like this is a great matchup because their size difference is like comical. I'm pretty sure Belguri or whatever the fuck this Andrew Tate lookalike's name is, he's like 6'4". And fucking Torres Finney's 5'10" at middleweight. So this is a very good matchup in a lot of ways. Hopefully this leads to a brutal KO. I think that would be a great kickoff to the early prelims. But if Torres Finney blobs him out, we've got a big heel here at middleweight. So I think this is a good fight to make and also to promote the Contender series and, you know, someone that trains with Alex Pereira, all right? Headlining the early prelims, we will be debuting a future legend. I think this guy's going to be a legend of the channel. I think this guy's going to be a very exciting prospect at lightweight. I'm going to be bringing out John Pork against fucking Nick Motta, dude. This is a banger. This is a fucking generational fight. For those of you that somehow have not seen Zainukov fight on Contender Series, he's being called John Pork. He's being called, his name is actually Wild Chunko. I don't know how because I'm not gonna lie, this may prove my autism, but dude, I'm walking around pretty regularly at the moment going, this my friend Junko, this my friend John Pork. I'm trying to think how those two got mixed together, because his fight name is Wild Chunko, and every single human on IG Reels is calling this guy John Pork. He kind of looks, I don't know if it's because of the name, but he kind of looks like him to me now. But he's, regardless of the meme, he does have some hype. He does have some meme value going into this fight, which is why I'm going to have him headline the early prelims. But he was a fucking nasty prospect. This guy set a significant strike record on the Contender series. He's a two-time Muay Thai world champion. I love the way that he fights. He's a super high-level striker. He trains with Islam Makhachev. Great cardio, great output, really mixes things up well. And Nicholas Mota is one of the toughest, most dangerous guys in the lightweight division in that unranked section. One of the most unranked lightweights. I'll just say it, bro. And yes, it's because he slept my boy Tom Nolan. I was fully expecting Tom Nolan to school this fucking little blockheaded guy, and he slept Tom Nolan badly. So there is a potential for an upset here. More likely than not, I think John Pork beats this guy by a war decision or by TKO. I still think this would be a really, really high-level fight. Super entertaining. This is the type of the prelim fight that a hardcore fan is going to Paramount Plus going like, holy fuck, I can't wait to watch this. And like I said, dude, when we go to these new pay-per-views, they are usually bangers and they're usually stacked. And this main card that I've built for you guys, it is stacked. And one thing that I always hope for with these cards is that new fans come along and they decide, you know what, let me watch the prelims. Let me see some of these new guys. This is the type of fight, if it turns out as good as I think it would be, that makes you a fan of the sport, that makes you want to watch every prelim. So we're going to kick off the early, or headline the early prelims with Nicholas Mota versus John Pork. All right, now we move on to the main prelims. Listen, kid, you thought that early prelim section was badass. This next section's even more fucking badass. Starting off the prelims, Cody Garbrandt, man. Bro, dude, I'm basically wearing a Cody Garbrandt jersey. For one night in 2017, this guy was the GOAT. That's basically the same thing as Russell Westbrook. Cody Garbrandt versus Arichi Lang in the bantamweight division. Both of these guys, they're super dangerous on the feet. They're not really worried about going to the ground. They're not really worried about any of that bloody floor stuff that bloody Islam Maklashev's been trying to use on fucking JDM, mate. These guys are there to scrap. Someone's probably going to get chinned. I don't know who's probably going to get chinned, but one person in this matchup is definitely going to probably get chinned. I don't know who it is. I don't really have a prediction, guys. You know me, I like to fence sit, but I have a feeling that someone in this matchup would potentially get knocked out. I don't know who it is, but one of these guys for sure is going down. I think that Cody Garbrandt, he's going to bring a little bit of that casual name value to the prelims. He has fallen off a lot. The tattoos are not fucking helping. And I think Cody Garbrandt, he should be on one of these big cards, but I'm not going to put him any higher than opening up the prelims, hopefully with a finish either way. I think that's a good way to kick off the card, all right? Let's move on to the next fight on the prelims. We're going to sprinkle in the first ranked matchup of the card. Don't worry, there's a bunch more on the card. But the first one we're going to put on here, Islam Makhachev, I'm your replacement, man. We got to put these fucking Paramount casuals. These guys that, oh, yeah, I'm scrolling through, I'm watching fucking Dexter, I'm watching Transformers. Who's this Grant Dawson kid? Who's this Grant Dawson guy? We got to put these casuals on to the future lightweight champion, Grant KGD Dawson. And if anybody knows why the fuck his nickname is KGD, I still don't know, but Grant Dawson versus Alexander Hernandez, I think this makes a lot of sense. I think the winner of this is in the sweepstakes to be fighting Michael Chandler on the White House card. We'll talk about him a little bit later. He's on this card as well. And I think this makes a lot of sense. Hernandez is on a 5-fight win streak. Dawson has kind of perpetually been in the bottom of the top 15. And he's right there to go on a big win streak and start fighting up the division. He's kind of like a Gamrot where I feel like he has the skills to fight some of these top guys and lose a competitive fight. But the UFC absolutely hates this man. I don't see them giving an opponent up the rankings to Grant Dawson. So I think Dawson versus Hernandez, that's a good prelim fight. The winner of this, like I said, Congratulations, kid. You're fighting fucking Michael Chandler on the White House card. I would do Grant Dawson versus, what's this guy's name? Alexander Hernandez. And the loser of this, I think, could fight like Mauricio Rufy or Quillen Sau. Fucking Quillen Sauerkield, mate. If I shave this, I'm basically Quillen Sauerkield. But yeah, I think that's what you do with this matchup. I'm going to throw that next on the prelims. Next matchup to make, because we all know this fight card's taking place in California. That's another part of this. That's why I got Cody Garbrandt on there. I've got a couple of other guys from this kind of region of the country. We all know that this is going to be in California, and I think a good addition to this card would be fucking Andre Fili versus Jose Delgado. I mean, come on, man. And by the way, now I can comment on this, because in my 321 video, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, I haven't seen it. This guy got robbed against Nathaniel Wood. I'm sorry. He beat Nathaniel Wood. I know the fucking British casuals. I know I'm becoming a Mexican dude, what are you fucking talking about, dude? Bro, Jose Delgado won that shit, bro. Bro, Canelo got fucking robbed, bro. I don't give a fuck. He beat Nathaniel Wood, okay? But I'm going to give him a bounce back. I'm going to give him a little, layup, comeback fight, a fucking layup. I think that Jose Delgado versus Andre Fili, it's a great addition to the card. These are two fan-friendly fighters. We want to promote, like I said, we want the casuals to tune into the prelims and get exposed to some of the up-and-coming fighters that we want to promote. And I think Jose Delgado is one of the future stars of the featherweight division. Andre Fili, he's from California, trains around there. I think this makes a lot of sense. It's a banger matchup. There's not going to be that much grappling involved unless Andre Fili gets guillotined. That's basically the only way that he loses nowadays. I think this is a sick fight. Probably a Delgado knockout if I had to guess. Great way to add to the prelims. The next fight that we're going to add before we go to the final prelim, it's going to be another ranked matchup. And I'm not biased on who I want to win this or what I want the outcome to be. I'm just saying that Curtis Razor Blades will be fraud checking 38-year-old prospect Ante Delija, whatever this guy's fucking name is. Oh, mate, I can't fucking fight him, mate. He's been to me fucking out. You know what, dude? I'm sorry, bro. I know I'm going to get hate for this, bro, but I don't care, bro. The fact that Tom Aspinall is refusing to fight this fucking blockhead, this Timu Sergey Pavlovich, because he came to his house. Listen, I understand that, okay? I have my teammates. I would never fight my teammates. I just heard a fucking media day interview from Ante Delija this week. I've never heard this human speak a word before. God strike me down if I'm lying. I've never heard him speak a word before. I thought he spoke English. So when I get on the media day for this terrible fight night this weekend, and I find out that Ante Delija's up there, you're telling me Tom Aspinall has this brotherly bond that he refuses to fight this man. He doesn't even fucking speak English. Literally, Marcin Tybura speaks more English. You're telling me him and Tom Aspinall are just chopping it up. Tom Aspinall's just said, you know what, mate? That's a fucking great point, That's a great fucking point. Mate, come here, mate. You are my fucking best friend in the entire world, mate. I'm sorry, dude. But to me, that is a problem. We need to get this guy off of the win streak. We need to get this guy off of the title path. I think you send in the GOAT, Curtis Razor Blades, to fraud check him, to blob him, to drop some elbows on him. Yeah, I'm going to put Curtis Blades on this card because I love Curtis Blades. He's the fucking GOAT. He's the man. He supports the channel. We're going to be rooting for Curtis Blades. We will be adding him to every single card possible until he comes back and regains the top position in the heavyweight division, gets the trilogy with Aspinall. I think him versus Delija is a good fight because honestly, listen, all jokes aside about the fact that I don't buy this whole Tom Aspinall-Delija bromance anymore. Obviously I'm rooting for Curtis Blades. I think this is a good fight if he beats Waldo Cortez Acosta this weekend. Now, obviously, if Waldo wins, you do Waldo versus Curtis Blades or maybe Blades versus Volkov 2, something like that. But I think this is a pretty realistic outcome I could see happening where they're trying to build those parallels between Aspinall and Delija on the path to Dana White trying to force them to fight each other. So I think this makes a lot of sense. And for Curtis Blades to beat a teammate and a very exciting prospect coming into the heavyweight division that has that connection to Aspinall, I think that's a good way to bounce back from the Aspinall loss 2 fights ago and maybe start to rebuild and be like, listen, dude, I'm coming back for the trilogy. I'm coming back for the title shot, whatever it is. That's what I would do. That's the second ranked fight I'm going to add to the prelims. And headlining the prelims, Kelvin Gastelum, brother. Bye-bye, Kelvin. Bye-bye, Kelvin. It's over. I'm sending Kelvin Gastelum to the gulag. I'm sending him in there against fucking Atiba Gauthier. I'm sorry, dude. We need to step up. I'm tired of watching fucking Atiba Gauthier fight jobbers, dude. I'm tired of watching Atiba Gauthier fight randoms pulled from fucking Contender series. I think he needs a little bit of a step up. I don't want to see him fight a ranked opponent. I think Kelvin Gastelum on paper is a great step up that I think is very winnable for Atiba Gauthier. And especially if he knocks him out, that is a huge accomplishment that you can glaze him for as a UFC promotion or as a UFC fan, whatever it is. It's going to fit the narrative so well if he goes out there and finishes someone that hasn't been able to be finished by guys like big fucking salty Joe Pyfer and Israel Adesanya and fucking Bobby Knuckles with the 1-2 head kick, Jared Cannonier. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people that Kelvin Gastelum has fought that are high level that if Atiba Gauthier is the one to crack his chin, that's a huge accomplishment. That boosts his name so much, which is what the UFC wants, right? And I think what I mean by on paper, this is a great test is because Kelvin Gastelum used to be ranked. He has a lot of championship experience and high-level experience. He is a wrestler, but I'm just going to be real. This is a fucking genius matchmaking by me because all of that sounds true. And I could see fake hardcores being like, dude, I don't know, man. Kelvin Gastelum, dude, I think he's going to win by fucking round 3 TKO, man. Atiba's going to gas, bro. I don't know, man. He looked like shit in his last fight against Dustin Stoltzfus. Dustin Stoltzfus is one of the lowest of the low level, ranked middleweight, name value type of guys that's just outside the top 15. I don't rate him that highly. I feel like there's an argument that he could have beat Kelvin Gastelum in that last fight. And KG just has no commitment to the sport. He's missing weight. He's fucking around. You know what I mean? Like he's pulled a fucking generational ABG, respects to the guy. But in terms of his MMA career, I think he's on the downslope. So I think Atiba Gauthier versus Kelvin Gastelum, it's a jump up, but I think it's very winnable. And I think it's a good matchup to make if you're the UFC trying to promote this guy on the Paramount debut. So those are the prelims that I would do. And now we go to the main card. In the main card, I want to build up big names. I want to add big names and ranked fighters and huge matchups that are going to get people excited. And I want a generational press conference. I'm tired of the fucking ESPN 15-minute press conferences and then Brett Okamoto's back there. What does it mean to be ready for this fight? And then Anthony Smith on the fucking desk giving his analysis. If you take away Aspinall's striking and his wrestling, he's really not that good. Like, fuck this whole thing, dude. We need longer, better press conferences. We need everybody on the main card up there talking shit. We need to bring back fucking Helwani at the press conference. Bring out fucking YouTubers to instigate some questions as well. Let's build up the promotion. And these names and these matchups, they will promote the fuck out of this card. This will be a generational pay-per-view to kick off the year and to kick off the Paramount deal, all right? Opening up the main card. What that work up, bro? Chocolate Peppa Pig, bro. Please make this fight. Please, Dana, please. I've begged for this fight in like 3 different videos. I think this would be so fucking funny. I would love to see this matchup unfold. Not only do I think the press conference trash talk of these two would be great, but I think the fight would be so goofy and so entertaining. Like, either Volta Walker's gonna go out there and just embarrass Derek Lewis. Why can I see Derek Lewis like his pants fucking falling down while he's defending a takedown or some shit? I just feel like this would be such a goofy matchup. Or Derek Lewis absolutely sleeps Volta Walker out bad, like bounces his fucking head off the canvas, and we kick off the pay-per-view with a bang. I think either way this fight goes, it's going to be exciting in the build-up. It's going to be a round 1 or late round 1. It's going to be a round 1 finish. I'm not even going to fence it. That's going to be a round 1 finish, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Round 1 finish. Volta Walker versus Derek Lewis kicking off the pay-per-view. Please, brother, please give me that. Now, next fight of the night, I think we need to build up one washed up contender and give him a win so that we can put him on a card later, losing to someone on the up and up. And we need to get rid of one washed up ranked contender and send him to the gulag and start feeding him to fucking Tom Nolan and Quillen Sauerkind and fucking... who else is Australia? Jamie Malak. Maybe not Jamie Malak. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying, right? One of them, we're going to prop him up so we can give him some big name matchups and see where he goes. One of them, we're going to realize, yeah, this guy's completely fucking washed. Let's feed him to the Sharks. Let's get him out. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. I want to make, for the Paramount debut, and I can really see this fight being put together, Renato Moicano versus Michael Chandler. These two will not be fight. I'm seeing people being like, dude, Quillen Selkirk, Renato Moicano. I guarantee you that this moon-headed man will not accept that fight. Why the fuck would he accept this fight? I'm sorry, why would Moicano accept this fight when he's turning down basically everything offered to him? I don't think he's going to suddenly accept fighting Quillen Selkirk in Australia. Not only do I think that is a crazy, tough matchup with like low risk, low reward. Like if he wins, people would be like, okay, he beat an unranked guy, you know, fraud check, blah, 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 whatever. If he loses, it's probably by fucking knockout. He's cooked. He's going down to the unranked section. He's fighting absolute killers for no rankings on the line. But also, going to Australia, you're getting all your fucking money taxed away from you. I just think this guy's too smart to be sent to Australia to fight someone that's unranked. I don't think Moicano will do that. So, I think the January Paramount debut, Michael Chandler, God bless, see you at the top, versus Renato Moicano. I think this is a great matchup to determine who's more washed out of these two, who are we feeding to someone unranked, and who are we propping up for a big fight on the White House card. I think that is the move here, and I can definitely see this fight being made for that January pay-per-view. I can just feel it. I can just see this fight getting put together. I really can picture this. And by the way, Renato Moicano wins this fight. I'm almost certain of it. I just think he's slightly less washed, and he's coming off more recent wins, and he's coming off better, more recent wins than Michael Chandler. So I do think Moicano wins this, but I think it'd be entertaining. I think it'd be kind of goofy. I think this is a really very likely matchup to happen, okay? Now we are at the top 3 fights of the pay-per-view. The featured fight of the card. We're putting together one of the most requested fights going into 2026. And make no mistake, if this doesn't get made, I'll be putting together a video of every fight we need to see in 2026. And this fight is near the top of that fucking list. Why is my fucking thing not open? Dude, imagine not making this fucking fight, dude. Hold on, let me take a picture of Sean O'Malley. Oh my god, it's Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen. Can we not fuck around, please? Can we not fuck around with the whole Aimon? Dude, we need to do Aimon Zahabi versus Corey Sandhagen, bro, and Sean O'Malley. Fuck that! Please, bro. Can we stop the politics bullshit of like, bro, O'Malley doesn't even deserve this fight. I don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. Every normal MMA fan, I'm sorry, unless you're some nerd that watches fucking Ryzen every weekend and shit, you want to see Sean O'Malley versus Corey Sandhagen. This is a pay-per-view worthy fight. This is a banger. This is going to draw fans to watch the card. This is going to sell tickets. That's it, dude. And O'Malley wins this shit. I'm sorry. Corey Sandhagen, I could definitely see him mixing in the wrestling, but I'm going to be real. I think O'Malley sleeps him, bro. If you're getting rocked by Merab, if you're getting fucking rocked by Merab, I'm sorry, O'Malley is beating you. I do want to see this fight, though. I think this would be a super high-level striking matchup. I think Sandhagen mixing in the wrestling would be entertaining. I want to see O'Malley deal with that and show some improvements. And I think in a 3-round fight, this would be super high-paced, super dangerous. Yeah, this is a casual's dream. And every real MMA fan has thought about this fight. We want to see this. It makes perfect sense. They're both coming off a loss to Merab. The winner of this, they can fight Umar or they can fight Jan. There's so many options for this. I think we all need to see this fight next year as soon as possible. Let's make it the featured fight of the card, all right? Now, co-main event. Now, most of these fights, I'm not going to lie, based on what I know of you guys, you're agreeing with these fights. You're thinking these are bangers. These are easy fights to predict. Like, that's a good fight to add to a pay-per-view. I think this next one is a little bit controversial, and you may not agree with me, but just hear me out, dude. Mate, I'm fucking starving, lad, you know, need a fucking cheeseburger, lad. I'm sorry, dude, but we don't negotiate with terrorists, alright? Justin Gaethje's saying he's gonna retire if he doesn't get to fight Ilya. I'm sorry, dude. You don't deserve to fight Ilya Topuria, and neither does Paddy Pimblett. And you guys know I love Paddy Pimblett. Dude, you know I'm glazing the fuck out of Paddy Pimblett. I've literally put my neck out on the line, pause, and said, I think Paddy Pimblett does better against Ilya Topuria than Charles Oliveira and fucking Volkanovski did in that first fight. Like, I seriously feel like Paddy Pimblett, for some reason, based on plot armor and just the storyline, can low-key be the guy to fluke a win over Ilya Topuria, right? But he does not deserve a title shot. I think with Arman versus Dan Hooker in November, and you make this fight in January, 5 rounds, Co-main event. I'm sorry, Justin Gaethje, but you do not deserve a title shot for beating Rafael Fiziev, who you already beat, and it was short notice, and he was coming off a loss, and he's ranked number 13 in the division, and he was overrated to begin with. His best win was fucking Bobby Green. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Tell me where I'm wrong. He beat, oh my God, he beat RDA. Fuck you. I'm sorry, dude, but that's not a title-winning fight, bro. You had the shot when you fought Poirier, and you beat Poirier, and I celebrated when you beat Poirier, but you gave it up when you got slept by fucking Max Holloway. It's not an exhibition, brother. You were face down on the canvas, fighting in the lightweight division. That's it. You're done. You don't get to just be like, nah, bro, that doesn't count. What is this fucking, what is this fucking, Justin Gaethje's like, that is the equivalent of when you're playing fucking hide and seek and you find this guy in a tree and he's like, nah, bro, nah, I wasn't even playing. Bro, I was looking for my dad, bro. My dad's coming to pick me up. Fuck off, man. You're out. You're done. So you fight Paddy Pimblett or you retire. Goodbye. You're not beating it. That's it, like, bro. I envy the UFC. I don't envy the UFC. Because imagine being fucking Dana White sitting there and Big Rufus is sitting across from you just like, bro, I deserve to fight Ilya, man. Like, seriously, let me fight Ilya, bro. I'll knock him out. Like, how can you genuinely take this guy seriously beating Ilya? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're getting slept by Ilya. I'm sorry. That's just it, right? But Arman Sarukian smashes you. Paddy Pimblett, I actually think Gaethje could low-key win this fight. And I think if he won this fight, that would remove some doubt for me. And I would be like, all right, give him a title shot. He deserves it. And if Paddy Pimblett wins this is by a country mile the most deserving win that he has on his resume. I just cannot see this guy get a title shot from beating washed up Michael Chandler. Charles didn't deserve to do it. It should have been Arman Sarukian. I understand the UFC was mad at him, but still, it should have been Arman. It shouldn't have been Charles, and it shouldn't be Paddy. It should be Arman Sarukian when he beats Dan Hooker, or Justin Gaethje if he wins this fight. That's what it should be. I'm done with forcing title fights just for the sake of title fights. O'Malley and Cheeto too shouldn't have happened for the belt. I think that was bullshit. I'm going to be consistent on this. You know what I mean? This is another example of if there's no number one contender, then fucking make one, dude. Because I think Arman's going to beat Dan Hooker, and then it should be Ilya versus Arman in March next year, and then the winner of this can fight the winner of that. Boom. Done. Or if Ilya vacates the belt to go fight Islam, then you do Arman versus Paddy Pimblett in March or, April. Boom. Vacant lightweight belt. That's a banger fight. That's what I would do with these two. I don't think you give either of them the title shot. And I think you headline this card with the very obvious fight that everyone is talking about right now. Aspinall versus Gane. Make this fight. And by the way, this is the last thing I'm going to say about the Aspinall Gane fight, bro. Okay? Because I don't know why people took it as like I'm hating on Aspinall. I'm not hating on Aspinall. But the fact that these fucking Aspinall fans literally cannot even admit the fact that Gane was winning the fight. I'm not saying Gane was dominating. It was 3 strikes. Bro, I never said he was dominating, bro. But he was winning. He won. He would have won the first round if it went on as it did. Right? He was winning the fight until the eye poke happened. He defended a takedown without an eye poke. I'm seeing people just blatantly fucking lie and be like, oh, Gane defended a takedown with an eye poke. No, he didn't. Rewatch the fight. He defended a takedown very, very well. And then Tom Aspinall was on the back foot trying to land big shots. He landed some big shots. A lot of shit that he threw missed. A lot of shit that he threw was kind of blocked. Same with Gane, though. Gane was biting really bad on all his fakes. I think if Gane got taken down, that fight would have been over. Aspinall would have won. I still think Aspinall would have won that fight eventually. But these guys can't even concede that Aspinall lost the first round, was losing the first round before the eye poke happens. And I understand that Gane is a dirty fighter, but at the same time, what is the logic that Gane is going to go in there and be like, all right, this is my last undeserved title shot. Let me eye poke this guy and ruin this fight that I'm winning right now. I'm sorry, but it's like, just because he has a past of doing it, he's not like a John Jones being like, yeah, bro, I love eye poking people. Like, it is a part of the sport. I understand that Gane has a reputation for doing those things. And if I'm the referee in that situation, if the fight continues, I'm taking away a point from Cyril Gane straight away. That to me is what you need to do straight away. As soon as Cyril Gane fouls you, boom, yep, thanks, brother, you're losing a point. That's what you do, and see if he keeps doing them. That's what I think should have happened, right? In my conclusion on this first fight, I think Cyril Gane was winning because of his jabs, because of the damage that he landed. He defended the takedowns. He was landing good shots. leg kicks, oblique kicks, jabs, moving away, landed a big right hand that kind of busted the nose of Tom Aspinall straight away. Tom Aspinall landed a couple of good shots. He was close with him. It was a competitive first round that I leaned towards Gunn. I think most people with eyes can see Gunn was winning. The foul was very egregious. It was a terrible eye poke. I don't blame Tom Aspinall for not continuing. But you know what is fucking weird, dude? Any other fighter in that situation, like Bilal Muhammad, remember the name Muhammad, in that exact situation. A lot of you guys were there making fun of him, clowning him. A lot of other fighters, when they complain about something that bothers them, a lot of people are there making fun of them. All of a sudden, when it's Tom Aspinall, dude, you guys literally never fought before, bro. Why are you hating on a fighter for making a choice? Like, why are we only defending Tom Aspinall and no one else ever in history? Bilal Muhammad, you guys were literally swearing up and down he doesn't even deserve to fight Leon because of the first fight. But then in this one, you're like, how do we know Tom Aspinall wouldn't have won? Like, that is hypocrisy that I see. But in conclusion, this is a fight that's very contentive. Like, people are arguing on both sides. I think this is a great fight to finish off the first ever Paramount pay-per-view. Aspinall versus Gunn, the rematch. Who's the real heavyweight champion? Let's get Aspinall to win this. And I think Aspinall wins this fight as well. That's what I would say. Kicking off that first pay-per-view with Aspinall just sliming out Cyril Gane. Just ending all the Jones Glazers. Ending all the Gane fans that have just spawned in out of nowhere. Very mysteriously, Jones retires. All of a sudden, Gane has a lot of new fans hating on Aspinall for being eye-poked. Isn't it weird that they're hating on this guy for getting eye-poked as well? That like, both sides, I just see retarded shit happening. But in conclusion, I think this is a very contentious fight. We need to see it ran back as soon as possible. I'm not waiting till fucking March. I'm not waiting till October next year. Do it in January. Headline the Paramount card. That's what I would do. But let me know down below, what fights do you guys want to see on the Paramount debut? If you agreed with me, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bedtime MMA. Make sure you guys enjoy the fights this weekend, man. They're going to be generational, dude. I can't wait to see David Obama versus Steve Garcia. Can't wait, guys. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. And I'll see you in the next video, man. Happy Halloween, boys. Goodbye.